Hey guys, it's Than, and I'm going to be doing a mod video today. I'm actually going to be modding a pair of Sharpshots. These aren't my Sharpshots, these are my boss's Sharpshots. And I'm going to be modding them. I'm going to be, doing all the air restrictor removal and seal improvement and all that jazz, but I'm also going to be adding an orange ModWorks spring. So these are going to be really nice when they're done. Just a quick note, they're really easy to open up. All the screws are the same size, which is awesome. I think all Nerf blasters have the same size screws. But there's 5 in this front shell here, and so you just take that off, and then there's 3 in the priming handle. You take this off, and then I think there's a hidden screw here, and then some screws in the handle, and then you just pop it open. Now I've taken all the internals out of this thing, so I just want to do that for demonstration purposes. But right here is what we're looking at. This is the this is the barrel, this is the front piece, which really doesn't do anything. I'm going to be drilling through here and getting out that air restrictor, and maybe do some seal improvements if it's needed. Also, there's an air release hole right here, and I'm going to be either taping or gluing over that. So next segment will have me be putting all this back together. Alright guys, this is just a little segment on just the plunger and barrel assembly. I drilled out this back bit here, and I was trying to drill into this air restrictor here, and actually, I don't know if you can see this glue line, but when I was trying to hammer it out, it actually just popped open, and there was the air restrictor right there, and I could just drill it out. So I'd advise, you don't have to drill this out. I do just because I want to clean airflow, but this is not necessary for getting at the air restrictor. You can actually just, hopefully just pop this, and then I've just hot glued it back together. So that's what I've done with that. The air restrictor I did hot glue because I had the hot glue gun running anyways. I've also put Teflon tape underneath the O-ring, and so it's getting a much better seal now. This combined with the 6 kilogram spring that's going to be placed into it, I think this is going to get great ranges. So I'm just going to be finishing up my touches on this, and then I'm going to be assembling this back together for you. Alright guys, let's put this thing back together. First, before I start anything, I want to point out the differences in spring. This is the stock spring, and this is the spring that Orange sent me. This is a 6 kilogram spring. You can just tell that it's a thicker gauge wire, and that there's more. There's more wire here. So it's a lot tougher. It's really going to make this thing really sore. So I'm hoping that my boss will be very happy with this when it's done. So what we want to do is that my Sharpshot, actually, when I opened it up, this piece ended up on the other side, so I'm just going to put it on this side so I know. The trigger goes right into here. Actually, first of all, you want to put the catch mechanism, which is right here, and put that over it. So that what this does is that when you pull back the trigger, the catch goes down, and it releases the plunger tube. So the plunger tube, what you're going to want to do is that you got the plunger tube, here's the barrel assembly with the clean shot all the way through, and then you have this front plastic piece. You just put that right on top, and then you put the plunger tube in the back, and you got to line this this little groove and then this little hole to this hole in this groove. So we just got to line that up and just kind of should snap into place. Also, this goes into this railing here. So now that's all aligned, and make sure that this bit is on the bottom and then this little almost hook is on the top. So we got that ready. We got the new tougher spring, and let's just squeeze that in there right there. And it's gonna have a tendency to pop out. Usually if it's bad, you're gonna have to hold it down in some fashion, but usually if it pops out a little bit, just make sure when you put the shell on that it all aligns properly. And just take a last look to make sure everything's all where it should be. This needs to be a little bit more into there. Looks like, there we go. Okay. So, we just take the other half of the shell and sort of slide it right on. And there we go. It snaps right into place. Oh, actually, I forgot something. Let's pop this out. We forgot the return spring for the priming mech. What that does, it has 2 loops on it. One is larger, one is smaller. You take the larger loop, and right above this plunger tube, just put that right into there. And also what we want to do is we want to take this half of the priming mech and insert it and make sure that this pin goes on the other loop. So let me get something magnetic so I can get that back up. There we go. And we insert this right into here. And get both of these loops in. This other one came out. There we go. Alright, so let's try this again. We're putting it right back on. And looks like it slid in without a fuss. Okay, so we got the other shell on, and now let's start putting some screws back in. I like to hold it and put just 1 or 2 screws in, just so I know that this is kind of solid. And make sure, I've found it's a lot better for the blaster, and it's also a lot better for structural integrity. If you just kind of put them on different sides and sort of support, at least with 1 screw, all the corners of the blaster. This one's a little more difficult because a lot of the screws on this bottom side here are in the outer shell, but at the very least we can get the top 2 corners and maybe 1 screw in the handle for good measure before I release this. And that way all the screwable corners are all in tight. And it should keep the internals in check. Now this is something you especially want to be wary about when you put anything with heavier springs like Orange ModWorks, because obviously the blasters aren't meant to hold that amount of weight in their springs, so you got to make sure that the internals stay put while you're putting all these screws in. And I'm going to put at least 1 screw in the priming mech so that doesn't fall off, because that's frustrating because you have to open the thing back up again if that happens. There we go. And now let's get this shell back on. Now that I've kind of screwed in all the things, I can hold this blaster without getting scared that it's gonna fall in half. But here we'll just put the other shell on. And I think with the amount of screws I have in there, I think I can actually fire this real quick just to make sure that it's working. Definitely not used to that prime. Ooh, that sounds real good. Okay, so I'm very confident now. I'm gonna screw this back together real quick, and then we can go outside for a firing test. This is the first of the 2 that I'm modding. The other one I haven't even touched, so we'll be able to really tell the difference of the 2 fully modded and then unmodded. And so I'm not going to have you guys watch me screw this whole thing in, so I'll just cut to that.